Sorry for that little 30-second delay, but we in the building. DJ Gambini, the Renaissance Man, and this is Sports Talk 101, presented to you by Country Vision Studio. We off in the building today, and it's been another good week in the NFL, fellas and ladies. Cause I know it's a lot of ladies watching football now, but anyway, good week again. The Falcons won. Yes. Excellent game, man. I mean, last week I was ready to kick Kirk Cousins out after one horrible game. He didn't look good at all, but this week he showed up and he showed out. He earned his money. Big time win over the Eagles. Next week we got Kansas City. If he can do that one more time, that would be great. But you know what we do on the show? It's a pigskin pick'em show with my picks. Another good week, 11-5. Not bad. 11-5. Let's start with the Buffalo and Miami game. All right. I picked Miami. It was wrong. Who knew they was gonna come out that flat and Tua was gonna get knocked out and all that right there? But I don't know. Maybe he do need to retire, or maybe he don't. I mean, that's his decision on what he decided to do. But he already done, got banged up a couple times and all that right there. You worry about his health. I mean, he a young man and all that right there. Teddy Bruschi was up talking this week and telling him what all he went through when he kept getting concussions and all that right there. And you think about Junior Seau. A lot of people probably don't remember him, or a lot of people do. Linebacker for the Chargers. He had a lot of concussions over his career and ended up taking his own life with that CTE thing. But hope Tua can get back in there. The Dolphins gonna have to change their game plan now. I think they got Malik Willis gonna be playing quarterback, but I didn't expect them to come out that flat. And plus, I was picking for a upset. Hold on one second. Let me get this here straight. Bam. There we go. All right. New Orleans and Dallas. Now, come on now. Let's be for real. It was always a chance New Orleans could beat Dallas. It was a chance. But who knew for the second week in a row that the Saints was going to put up 40 points? Looking at them through the first 2 weeks, I don't want to be in their division. Even though we looked good last night. We looked good, especially down that stretch on that drive. But 40 points in 2 games? And then the thing I heard that they were saying was it's like 18 straight drives Derek Carr was scoring. Derek Carr scoring 18 straight drives. And I was like, man, we got to play them after we play the Kansas City Chiefs. But watching football as long as I have been, I'm not really buying into what they selling until like week 4. If they still doing all this by week 4, I will be impressed, and I will be calling them, the top dog, probably in the NFC if they still putting up 40 points a game. All right, next game I got wrong. Las Vegas versus Baltimore. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody picked Baltimore, and they was at home, and then they had this heartbreaking loss to the Chiefs the week before. I didn't watch the game. I got to catch the tail end of it. Looked like Lamar Jackson probably could have juked one man and ran it on into the end zone and probably won the game. Las Vegas look like they're going to be tough this year. They look like they probably not going to be picking in the first round early. They always a tough team, but I think they going to be more like a 10-win team this year. Big ups to Alonzo Jones. He the only Raider fan that I know. And excuse me, a lot of times when I be saying about fans that I know, I miss some people sometimes. And it don't be on purpose. It just be at the time I don't be thinking. And I try to remember your team because I can't stand bandwagon riders. I hate them. I hate bandwagon riders. All right. Next game I got wrong was Cleveland versus Jacksonville, right? I don't know. Deshaun Watson looked a lot better. He looked a lot better. I guess they, when they started talking about the clause that they put in his contract when they restructured it, made him, go back to playing ball. Amari Cooper, he dropping wide open passes. He not looking too great right now. But they do got a defense too, but I was expecting Jacksonville at home, to kind of bounce back from that loss the week before. That's why I picked them. Tampa Bay at Detroit. I like Detroit. I think they're a tough team, man. I really do. I think they're one of the top teams in the NFC. Ever since they got the head coach that they got, and they pulled a trade to get rid of Matthew Stafford and brought in Jared Goff, they've been a whole different team. They're not the Lions that I'm used to watching. Even when they had Barry Sanders, Rodney Peete, they was a subpar team. But this team here really has a toughness about them. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I hope I said that right. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a good, tough receiver. They got a tough tight end. They got two good backs. So, like I said, I was picking them to win, but it looked like the NFC South is going to be crowded because Tampa Bay looking good too. Baker Mayfield. I was having a discussion with one of my friends, right? And we was debating on whether Baker quarterbacks. Top hat. Baker Mayfield, he was doing good in Cleveland. Cleveland was actually doing pretty decent with him, but they chose to pull a trigger and get Deshaun Watson when the Texans and all this other stuff came up with Deshaun Watson. But I think they should have just left that alone. So I'm not really surprised that Baker Mayfield is as good as he is playing down there in Tampa Bay. And I think they gave him a new contract. As far as the rest of the week, I was pretty much spot on. That brings my current record to 24-8 right now. It's early because trust me, it's gonna be a week where I got to get up here and talk and say how bad I was making my picks. I was just making my picks bad and horrible. But this was another good week for me. I feel like it was. Another thing, Sam Darnold. I told you I didn't think he was complete garbage. Now it's early in the season. Anything can happen. But like I said, I don't think the boy is straight trash like everybody say he is. And they doing pretty good over there in Minnesota. They starting out 2-0. All right, moving forward, right? We got the New England Patriots for this week. This the picks for this week. New England at the New York Jets. I'm gonna take Aaron Rodgers at home. I like Aaron Rodgers at home. I think he could pull it off. It's a short week for New England, and they gotta go on the road. I'm gonna take the Jets on this one. Denver at Tampa Bay. Better safe than sorry. Let me take Tampa Bay at home. All right, Houston at Minnesota. I think that's going to be a good game. Both of these teams are on the uptick. You know what I'm saying? They coming up. Houston looked good. Did they play last night? No, night before last, Sunday night. It was in the Sunday night game. It was the rookie against rookie. Well, I meant sophomore against rookie. Stroud. I almost forgot his name. Stroud looked pretty good. And just like he did last year, he picking up. I don't think he's going to have that sophomore slump. Don't look like. And like I said, Sam Darnold it's surprising, because I didn't completely write him off. But his paperwork was on the desk to get rolled off. But he playing pretty good. And we can't forget, he got Jefferson out there, wide receiver. He caught like a 90-something yard bomb. One of the longest touchdowns in Minnesota history this week. Somebody gonna be 2-1 after this game. Both teams 2-0. I think I'm gonna go with Minnesota. Let's go with Minnesota again. Let's look for Minnesota to move to 3-0. Okay. LA Chargers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm gonna pick the Chargers. I'm gonna pick the Chargers because Pittsburgh is a suspect 2-0. You know what I'm saying? They really depended on their defense a lot to win these games, and I believe the Chargers gonna put up a couple points. I think they done scored over 20 in each of their starting games. In each of these two games that they done played, they done scored over 20, and that's enough to beat Pittsburgh. If you can put up 20 points, and I know Pittsburgh got a good defense, but I'm taking the Chargers on the road. Okay, Philly at New Orleans. Now we finna find out if New Orleans for real or not, right? I think Philly got a pretty good defense. And I know you're probably saying they let the Falcons beat them last night. I don't think that was technically the defense fault. If Saquon Barkley catch that last pass, that's game. They left the window open and we drove it down the field. Like they say, we drove it down their throats. But Philadelphia, I'm gonna take Philly on the road. I gotta see some more of that 40 points from New Orleans because they do look sharp. I must admit that they do look sharp. Okay, we got Green Bay at Tennessee. Green Bay at Tennessee. I'm gonna take. I don't know. It's hard to take Green Bay when they ain't got their starting quarterback on the road. That's a tough one. I really want to take Green Bay, but I don't know if they start quarterback playing or not. Tennessee, they don't look too good right now. They quarterback going through some couple woes, making bad decisions, giving the game away. Let me see. You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb. Let me take Tennessee. Tennessee gets their first win this week. My cousin probably gonna go crazy because he a cheesehead, and I'm talking about a lifelong cheesehead. Ever since he started watching football, way back with Brett Favre and all that right there, he probably gonna blow his top saying I'm picking Tennessee to beat Green Bay, but he'll be all right. New York versus Cleveland. I'm assuming that this is the Giants. I'm gonna take Cleveland because the Giants ain't showed nothing this season. But Malik Neighbors, I think that's his name. I'm praying that's his name. The wide receiver that they drafted this year, he was a stud in fantasy this week. I had to leave him on the bench because I had it's good I do got him though. Speaking of fantasy, it's good I do got him because Deebo Samuels is out for a couple weeks, and Deebo Samuels is out a couple weeks, and I'm able to plug him in there. Now I'm gonna have to get out on the wire and find me another receiver from some way. So I'm gonna be on the lookout, on the waiver wire and all that right now. But I still don't think Malik Neighbors is enough to beat, and he playing against Cleveland, which is a good defense. Cleveland is a good defense. So I'm gonna take Cleveland at home. And like I said, Deshaun Watson played much better this week. Chicago at Indianapolis. I'm taking Indianapolis. I'm just gonna flat out take the Colts because Chicago, the rookie quarterback for Chicago, the number 1 overall pick, he's struggling. And in the first game, he didn't throw for 100 yards, and I think he had like 2 or 3 interceptions this week. So he's struggling as a rookie. So I'm gonna take Indianapolis, and I hope Michael Pittman for Indianapolis can get his thing together. I really hope he can get his thing together. I'm gonna take Indianapolis. Miami versus Seattle. I'm gonna take Seattle at home because Tua ain't playing. They already say they're gonna put him on the injured reserve. Even though the backup quarterback did play good this week, and they got him. No, he didn't. I changed that. Scratch that. Because they got blowed out. My bad. I was finna say the quarterback played good, but evidently didn't. They got punched in the mouth right from the word go, and that was that. Okay, Carolina versus Las Vegas. When you're going from I can't think of the boy name, the rookie from last year, the number 1 overall pick from Alabama. It's on the tip of my tongue. But when you're going from him to Andy Dalton, where is you going? Even though I know Andy Dalton is a veteran and a good game manager, I might have to go with. I'm gonna take the Raiders at home. I'm gonna go with the Raiders, and Carolina, they just in a total rebuild, and they started it off wrong. Bryce Young, that's his name. They started it off wrong by drafting Bryce Young. In college he was good, he was great, but in the NFL he just looked too small. He just looked too small to play, and I think they just wasted a bunch of time with him. He might be a good backup, or he might come back like Sam Darnold. I ain't gonna completely write him off because, like I said, when you playing for a bad team, it's hard to see your talent. And Carolina is a bad team, even though they beat us last year. Desmond Ridder. I wonder is he finally in Arena League? He should be in Arena League by now. He really should. But I like Las Vegas in that game. I like Las Vegas. Baltimore and Dallas. Okay, two underperformers from this weekend. Baltimore gonna be on the road at Dallas. Dallas remind me of a bully. They really can go around and beat people up. But if you hit them in the mouth and rush them, it's like they can't recover. Once you get them down, they can't recover. So I'm looking for them to bounce back this week. And I really hate to say that Baltimore gonna go to 0-3. And I really hate to say that. And you know what? I'm not gonna say that. Baltimore on the road. Baltimore on the road. Ain't no way you got the MVP of last year on your team and you gonna start this is not 0-3. Baltimore on the road. Okay, we got San Francisco versus LA. Now which LA? Okay, it got to be the Rams. Make sure. It's the LA Rams. Okay, that's a divisional game. That's a divisional game. Is without McCaffrey. McCaffrey gonna be out for a while, but the backup running back did good the first game. Didn't do so hot last game. The Rams, they got annihilated by Arizona this weekend. I don't even think Arizona had their starters in the fourth quarter. But it's always a tough game when you're talking about division. And as much as I don't like Kyle Shanahan, I'm not gonna say I don't like him, but I don't care for him because I'm never gonna start talking about that debacle of that Super Bowl. With the Falcons. I know a lot of people say, no, Dan Quinn could have overruled. I don't want to hear that. He shouldn't even been calling that from the start. We should have ran the ball. Ran it down their throat, ran out the clock, and won the Super Bowl. I mean, everybody always asking me, how disappointed would you be if Trump lost the election? Not as bad as I felt when we lost that Super Bowl. I don't even feel as close to that because, like I said, that was Kyle Shanahan's fault. But I'm not looking for them to drop down to 1-2. Even though I hate to see the Rams go. I'm saying say, not see. I hate to say that the Rams gonna drop to 0-3. So I'm gonna take San Francisco. I'm gonna take San Francisco on the road. Detroit versus Arizona. I know I was talking good about Detroit at the beginning, but Arizona is a team that kind of scared me because they really got a good team. Marvin Harrison Jr. Showed his raw oats this weekend. Before halftime, he had 100 yards and 3 touchdowns or something to that degree right there. Detroit, the quarterback. Can't think of his name. It probably will come to me while I'm talking. But he didn't play so hot this weekend. He didn't play too good this weekend. Yeah, he probably had a lot of yards, but they didn't score a lot of points. You know what? I'm gonna take Arizona. All right, Sunday night, Kansas City at Atlanta. Oh, I ain't know Kansas City was coming to our house, but y'all know I'm gonna pick Atlanta anyway. I mean, so. It ain't really no big discussion there. Even though, Kansas City probably look like the dominant team, but they do for one. I think they done won like 7 or 8 straight games since, last year, since they'll run to the Super Bowl. I think we're going to pick them off. We going to pick them off, and we're going to go to 2-1, and we're going to set up a big matchup between us and the Saints the following week. All right, Jacksonville at Buffalo. I ain't picking no upset against Buffalo. I'm just gonna stay safe. They running back really carried the day when they played this week. Josh Allen didn't play. I ain't gonna say he played bad, but he didn't throw a lot. And fantasy owners probably pulling their hair out because I think he scored like 9 points in fantasy, and that's un-Josh Allenish. But I'm still gonna take Buffalo. And our last pick for the week, we got Washington at Cincinnati. I'm gonna take Cincinnati because them boys ain't gonna start 0-3, and that's just a fact. Washington, they don't look horrible. They putting up a couple points. Rookie quarterback doing his thing back there, but he wasn't able to cut loose and run like he was the week before. Like I said, I'm taking Cincinnati on that. And then my picks for the week right there. Hopefully it'll be kind of short like it was these last 2 weeks, because really I'm just going over the games I got wrong. And, like I said, the Falcons, I'm going to talk about my home team a little bit right here. I mean, we really look like we got something this year, man. It really looked like we got something. Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, we got two good backs. And I got to say, I like the way Raheem Morrison, our offense coordinator, using them. You run with Bijan, then you give him two or three series rest with Algier, and Algier coming in. It's like you got your fast Corvette, then you bringing in, that big truck, you bringing in the big truck boy. You know what I'm saying? Drake London, he improved this week. I'm still waiting on Kyle Pitts to show me why somebody would take a tight end at number 6, 7, 8. A tight end, you take a tight end that high. I'm expecting more than what Pitts giving to me. Can Captain Kirk stay, on his path of destruction? Because once Kirk get rolling now, I gotta admit, you probably can name 5 good quarterbacks, but when you start getting to 6 and 7, it's gonna be hard to say over the last couple of years quarterbacks that have been better than Kirk Cousins. He probably around about 10. He's not in the bottom half of the quarterbacks. I know that. He, like I said, he probably in the top 10. You probably can't, once you get to 6, 7, 8, you be like, running out of good players. And I know you got these running quarterbacks that you like, but Kirk kind of do produce wins. I think Minnesota was always in the hunt for the playoffs, but it looked like we done made it to the end again. And I gotta say, I'm proud of myself. This 3 weeks in a row, I'm able to get up here and do the thing. I know last week's show wasn't a live stream. It wasn't a live stream. It was done offline. But it's going to be like that because of my work schedule. But I was able to get in here tonight, even though it's, late for somebody that got to get up and go to their black job in the morning. It was, it's kind of late, and I know people probably not up or whatever. But how you feel about the NFL season? Leave it in the comments. You chirp, I chirp back. We always try to be respectable or whatever. But like I said, we getting ready to get out of here. You know how we end the show. Peace and prosperity.